Hi, I'm Laura Flanders of The Laura Flanders Show. Watch every week on Free Speech TV, Link TV, YouTube, or if you're in New York, CUNY TV. Prefer to listen? Subscribe to the free podcast at lauraflanders.org. I end every week with a commentary. I call it the F word. Here's this week. A popularly elected republic overturned by a reactionary armed revolt. There are myriad reasons why the Spanish Civil War might return to one's mind at this particular moment. For one thing, that conflict reminds us just how fast dictatorship can kill democracy. Backed by Hitler and Mussolini, General Francisco Franco seized power in 1939 in a war that left hundreds of thousands dead, and used that power for close to 40 years to enrich the biggest landowners, the largest banks, the most oppressive church, and himself. Spain's story reminds us that elections aren't guarantees, they're expressions of popular will, a wish. What follows is up for grabs, and that's worth remembering as the U.S. hurtles to a November and an election that could remain undecided for days, even weeks. There's another reason to remember the Spanish story too, though, and that's what drew the Laura Flanders Show there last year. That's the story of resistance to authoritarianism and how a people survived the longest dictatorship in modern Europe and came out of those years of loss with the world's largest and most successful worker-owned co-ops and a culture of defiance and community care that endures to this day. The Mondragon cooperatives in Spain's Basque region grew out of the need to feed, heal, and employ a minority population whose culture Franco's forces tried to criminalize and punish out of existence. Today, Mondragon employs upwards of 70,000 people and invests its profits in a university, a credit union, and the culture of the region. In Barcelona, wartime practices of solidarity economics and mutual aid live on in the social movements that not long ago elected a mayor and still dominate city government. COVID cases have spiked more than once there this year, but the death toll from COVID remains low. An infrastructure of community care that seeped into the city is saving people today. State power matters. That's why elections matter. Who will a state care for? How? On whose behalf will a government govern? For how long? This November 3rd, nothing matters more than voting. But Spain reminds us that what comes after matters too. The ways of working and caring that people come up with in a crisis stand them in good stead. After the crisis has passed, and into the future, sometimes even for generations, pointing to a brighter way ahead. If you missed the Laura Flanders Show premiere on public television stations, don't worry. You can watch us every Sunday on the World Channel, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, on public television stations all across the country in the week that follows, or online at our YouTube channel, or find us as a podcast. Find out more at lauraflanders.org. Thanks.